Hey, what's up everybody? This is Osric501 and today I'm going to be showing you guys another gold farm spot. Now this spot is going to be in the Drusfar. It's actually going to be the new Drusfar and BOE farming spot. Now if you don't know, the old spot was nerfed. I think it will still be useful at some point. Just seems right now splitting up a group into the two camps really isn't that great with the amount of gear we have. Maybe when we get more raid gear and stuff and you can have just people that can destroy these groups really easily, it'll probably still be a viable spot. But for now, the spot that's pretty close to it, actually, what we're looking at today, is definitely better. Now basically you're going to be sitting in this courtyard and you're just going to be pulling all the mobs around you. Now even with a monk statue, which I would still recommend having, and I'll talk about that in a minute, you still have to go around, and pretty much every group has one person like run up basically pretty far away off to the left, or you'll see in the video, and pulling a ton of mobs and bring them back to the group. There are a good group of mobs right around you that anyone with any ranged attack can pull pretty easily, and you want a monk statue because pretty much all these mobs are melee. You want to pull the ones that are around you instantly so you don't have to worry about those, and you want some place for them all to run because you're usually just going to be aggroing them, then bring them to group to be AoE down. Another reason that another issue with having lower gear at the beginning of an expansion. And then you're just going to kill everything. Now the farm, or the footage you'll be watching, is me on my priest. Now I went disc because they needed a healer. A lot of groups are going to want a healer, then DPS, and usually a monk, because especially the person running around, they're going to be getting hit a lot running back and forth pulling these mobs, and you're definitely going to want someone to be healing everybody. Because I mean, even if you're 340, this stuff still is not the easiest stuff to kill, especially with scaling up when you get more power, more eye level, stuff like that. But something about this farm and the other Drusfar farm, I'm going to go a little more in depth. So on my priest isn't 120, my priest is 110, and I just brought my priest basically to Borealis this early to do profession stuff, but then my priest is at Taylor, so I figured I might as well go try these farms, because if you don't know, since Wrath of the Lynch King, I don't know if it worked in WoD, I don't know how it worked in every expansion exactly, but basically Taylors get a perk that makes humanoids have a chance to drop more cloth, which is insane in spots like this. So basically on my priest, even though it's 110, the spot does still scale, and also you can get them out on 110s. You can get BOE epics on people below 120. I've talked to multiple people in these groups that have said on characters leveling they got BOE 120 epics, so you could still get those. And then since I'm a tailor, I get insane amounts of cloth. Like, I'm pretty sure I was clocking it at about 100 cloth every 10 minutes, and I was getting, I don't know exactly if it works fully on like deep sea satin or how exactly the increases are for the normal cloth, but it seemed the deep sea satin was a lot higher because I was getting 1 to 2 every minute, which is pretty crazy. So about, I think it was averaging about 10 a minute, so 1 a minute, which is still pretty insane. Another good thing about bringing lower levels here, I mean, you do get XP, you can stop the XP if you want, because the 110s just have so much gear. If you're a geared 110, you could even actually have people carry you, like get a group of your friends or something, carry a 110 in like old Mythic and Taurus and just get you fully geared. Because if you have the best legendaries, if you're built with your talents, that's another thing, but we'll get to that in a second. But if you're built with your talents, with your gear and everything like that, you can basically be the most powerful person here. On my Disc Priest, I was basically just spamming Holy Nova and pulling mobs with my dot, and I was doing really good damage and keeping everybody healed. If I had my Shadow Priest, I've done a little bit of this spot with my Shadow Priest, and I completely did a bunch of talents that I usually would never use, but are just insane for like this type of farming spot. Just super bursty AoE. and I basically do like 50% of the entire group damage just because I'm 110 with decent gear, these really good legendaries still. So the scaling's really low, you're killing everything super fast. Now from this spot, if you don't know about these spots, you can get the pack mule, which is, I think it's like, I forget the exact name, but it's a mule. It's a pack mule mount that you could sell. With the nerfs that are going on for these mod farm spots, they've gone up. The US average price is a little over 500k right now. On my server, it's about the same. And I think that's gone up like 200k in the past like week or something like that. Since the nerf of the old Dress Far spot, which was actually much easier, the price has gone up a lot, which a lot of people would think really sucks. It destroys the farms or something. Basically what this does, in my opinion, is the people that are actually going to keep farming this, the people that like farming stuff like this, are just going to be making more gold because they're going to be rare. The people who were farming them before, who were kind of farming them because it's the flavor of the month thing in BFA to do these AoE farm spots that like the gold goblins of WoW have been doing for years and years, but everybody's been doing them. And what's going to happen is they get nerfed and different spots get nerfed. People are going to stop doing those spots. People are going to be like, oh, it's not worth it doing as much or doing at all because the spot was so nerfed. Then the goblins that will do it for hours on end and like doing it, like just putting on Netflix or something, when they get one, it's going to be worth just so much more. And these are mounts, and they're the newest expansion mounts, so they're basically the like highest fidelity mounts. They have the most pixels on them. They technically look the best, so people are always going to want to buy these mounts because they're mounts. Everyone wants to collect mounts. Lots of people want to collect pets. Stuff like that usually always sells, especially mounts. Mounts are probably one of the highest selling like kind of aesthetic thing in the game, so people are always going to buy them. Then you have all the greens you get here. You have the cloths, you have the grays and the gold, so just raw gold, which is still probably like 4,000 gold an hour, maybe, probably a little lower at this spot. Then you have all the BOE world drop epics, which right now they're still pretty high price on my server. There's still a few different weapons that are up like 600k, like T-boos. I think some of the two-handers are still like 600k. A lot of the armor is probably 1 to 200k, maybe 300k. Talking about like trinkets and maybe some higher rolled stuff with sockets, stuff like that. So if you get any of those, you're making, you know, a few 100,000 gold, up to like 600,000 gold probably. Probably the top end would be 600,000 right now for like a T-boost or something like that. So you can get those and make tons of gold. That and the mount are basically what you're here for. So this spot is still, that's why I don't do gold per hours on spots like this. I mean, I could say you could make 1 million gold per hour if someone in my group did get one of these mounts and like 2 BOE epics, which is just insane, absolute insane luck. It's technically 1 million gold per hour. But I'm not really going to put that because these spots are so based on RNG. Kind of have to know that when you're going into farms like this. But yeah, I just want to show you guys this new updated Just Far mount and BOE farm spot. Make sure you like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more videos. Let me know what you think about this farm style. Let me know if there's any farms or profession gold making strategies you guys want me to do next, and thanks for watching.